What's that? Hello? Yep. Hello.
So mic here just in case.
Please, please.
Sadhguru.
That's better. Well, what is this chant about? This is Hello, is it okay?
Yes.
When we say life, on a personal level, you may imagine many things as to what is your life. Essentially, what you're referring to as life can be like other people, I can't see them. So essentially what we are referring to as life is just a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. When time gets over, we're gone. Hello? In southern Indian languages, we do not refer to when somebody dies, we don't say he died. We say his time got over. That's all that happened. Our time got over. For all of us, our time will get over at some point. Right now it is ticking away. What is ticking away is not the clock. What is ticking away is your life. Those of you who are looking at me through your third eye, all the phone people, it's going straight on the YouTube. Don't waste your time. You can download it straight away from the YouTube. Do not hide your face behind the phone. Let me see you. So time is rolling for all of us at the same pace. Nobody here has any control over at what pace the time should go. You can't slow it down, you can't roll it back, it's just going away. What's going away is our life, it's just going away. First of all, before I say all this, I just want to check, am I talking to mortal people or are there some immortal people? No, are you all the dying kind, I'm asking? Yes. It's very important. It's very important because only the dying kind can live. Those who cannot die cannot live. So, with regard to time, unless you have complete mastery over the fundamental making of life, you have no control over time. But how you experience time is a very relative process. Have you noticed, on a particular day, you were very happy? It happens sometimes? Only sometimes? Anyway, one day it happened, you were very happy. That day, 24 hours, poof, went off like a moment.
True.
Another day you were living. In that mode, 24 hours feels like 10,000 years. Has that also happened? So time is a very relative experience. Only miserable people can have a long life. If you're very joyful, poof, it gets over before you know what happened. Yes, joyful people have a very brief life, but miserable people have a long life. At least it feels long. So never ask for a long life. What is most important is that your life is pleasant, profound and impactful. That's all there is with life. Your experience of life is pleasant, as profound as it can be, and in terms of activity you're impactful. If this needs to happen, try to manage time, because I know people have written books about time management. You don't have to do anything, it just rolls. You think you have to spin the planet to make the time go? The thing you have to manage is how you manage your own life energies. If you live at a certain level of exuberance and intensity, then in terms of both pleasantness and profoundness, you will be at a much deeper level. In terms of impactfulness also you will be at a higher level. So if you and another person, let's say both of you live for 100 years, one person, mastery or what happens within themselves, then somebody can do something in 10 years, if you can do that in 1 year, if both of you live for 100 years, it feels like in terms of richness of experience and impactfulness of life, it feels like you live for 1,000 years. This you can do, that you can manage your energies in such a way that is every moment exuberant, pleasant, profound and impactful. This you can do, but you cannot manage time. If you want to live little longer, we can teach you some inner engineering. It'll help you to kick the can a little bit. Don't ever think if you do inner engineering program, you're going to live forever. No, you will still die. Hello? Is it okay?
Yes.
Because it is not about becoming immortal. When it's our time, we must vacate the place. Hello?
Yes.
This happened. In India, it's a tradition when somebody builds a house, a new house, they will always invite a yogi or a sage or a saint to come home and bless their homes. So, this is a rich family, they built a new house, so they invited a yogi. He came, they treated him not like a yogi, they treated him like a king. And everything happened, time for the blessing came, after food is served, everything happened. Then the husband and wife came for the blessing, and the yogi raised his hands and said, "First let your father die, then you die, and then your children must die." They said, "What? We treated you like a king, and now you're telling me my father should die, then I should die, then my children should die? What nonsense is this?" The yogi was surprised and shocked. Why, what did I say wrong? is it not important that first your father dies, then you die, and then your children die? If you die before your father, that is not a good thing. If your children die before you, that is not at all a good thing. Natural order of things are like this. This is very important because most human beings are living here as if they're immortal. In their mind they may know that they will die one day, but intellectually they may know. As a living experience, they are not seeing that their life is just going away. If you are conscious that you are on a very limited lease of time, naturally you will organize yourself to do things that you really care for. Otherwise, you'll do all kinds of silly things that don't matter in your life because you think you have an endless amount of time. You have a limited lease of time. This is not a wish from me. I bless you with a long life, but this is the nature of life. If you don't come to simple aspects of perceiving life the way it is, then we'll do all the wrong things. Right now, why human beings are going about with their activity as they're going about is, most of the fools think that they are immortal, they're here forever. Most homes have turned into warehouses because they think they're going to be here forever. I must tell you this. I was in the United States and I went to somebody's home for lunch and I'm a little bit of an architecture freak. I just notice everything the way it is, and generally I know how American homes are built. Based on this, I wanted to use the restroom, so normally I know how homes are laid out. I went and opened this door, but I had made a mistake. It was not a restroom. It was a large room, maybe twice the size of this stage, and the whole room was full of footwear. Over 800 pairs of footwear, and all of them were ladies' footwear. Then I was just looking at this, what's happening here? Is it like, are they dealing in footwear, are they something like this? But by then the lady of the house came, Sadhguru, what do you want? I said, what is all this footwear? I knew they are successful doctors, both husband and wife. They are not footwear merchants. Then he said, no, Sadhguru. Sadhguru, what do you want? I said, see, I was just looking for the restroom and I just happened to step into this, but what about this footwear? No, Sadhguru, let's go. I said, oh, these are all your footwear? 800 plus pairs. How many lifetimes are you planning to come back? Because obviously you cannot use this footwear in one lifetime, there are too many. So then this was working on me, I was just wondering, why everything, you see, I'm okay, you buy one for your office, one for walking, one for golf, one for running, one for evening, and because you're a woman, you want the 7 colors, all right. No, 7 into 321, all right. I'm considering, but 800. How do you even choose? Then it was bothering me. Then I met a CEO, a major footwear manufacturing company in the United States. I asked him, why would a woman buy 800 pairs of shoes? He said, Sadhguru, that is because that thinks she can buy all her life same size. So that makes sense. So I think that is the thing, it's okay. In pursuit of their happiness and well-being, that we have done this. Every one of us, knowingly or unknowingly, involved in this destruction. We are all partners in this destruction. The only way around is we all become partners in the solution. There is simply no other way. But why are human beings in pursuit of happiness so vigorously and still they're not happy. All the time, everybody is going through all kinds, they call it stress, anxiety, misery, depression, this one, that one, all kinds of things. Everybody today, these days, they're claiming they have a right to be like that. Well, yes, of course, you have a right to be miserable. But is that your choice really? If you are given a choice for yourself, I'm asking you, you must choose right now. If you don't say anything, I'm going to bless you. If you have a choice right now of being blissful or miserable, what is your choice for yourself right now?
Blissful.
Blissful.
Yes.
What you want for your neighbor sometimes may be debatable. But what you want for yourself is crystal clear, isn't it? Highest level of pleasantness is what you want for this one. What does pleasantness mean? Pleasantness means, if your body becomes pleasant, we call this health. You want it?
Yes.
I heard only 122 people.
Yes.
If body becomes pleasant, we call this health. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it pleasure. If your mind becomes pleasant, we call this peace. If it becomes very pleasant, we call this joy.
True.
If your emotions become pleasant, we call this love. If it becomes very pleasant, we call this compassion. If your very life energies become pleasant, we call this blissfulness. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. If your surroundings become pleasant, we call this success. To create or to make your surroundings pleasant, you may need the cooperation of many people and forces in the world. Because surroundings will not become pleasant just like that. You need certain skills and capabilities, and other people should cooperate. The times in which you all should cooperate, only then you can create the surroundings the way you want it. But to make your body pleasant, mind pleasant, emotions pleasant, energies pleasant, is 100% your business. Hello?
Yes.
So if you were really joyful, would you be in compulsive activity of wanting to do something crazy in the world? Hello? Really?
No.
Right now, in pursuit of happiness, endless amount of activity human beings are doing, whether it is needed or not needed. This is the whole problem right now. Everybody is on a mission, whether it's needed or not needed. Some people are in religious missions, some people are in shopping mission, some people… all kinds of missions, whether it is needed or not, you need to do it. This happened. You okay if I tell you a joke? You're getting serious.
Yes, please.
Don't be so serious. Come on, hello. This is the biggest problem in the world. A whole lot of people are dead serious about themselves. Who I am, they're dead serious about that. See, this is a wrong order of things. First you must be serious and then you must be dead. Dead serious is the wrong order of things. And this is a serious problem. It's like this. See, in this cosmos, nobody knows where it begins, where it ends. Such a tremendous space. Nobody has figured out where it begins, where it ends. Neither the religious people nor the scientists have figured out where it begins, where it ends. This limitless cosmos, solar system, is a tiny speck. In that tiny speck, planet Earth is a microspeck. In that microspeck, Dubai is a super microspeck. In that, you are a big man. This is a very serious problem. This is a serious loss of perspective as to who you are. You are like a pop-up on this planet. You popped up and you'll pop up. Yes, in the life of the planet, you are appearing for a couple of seconds and disappearing. And you are a micro speck of dust in this universe. But you think so much about yourself. This is the main problem. Now, this is happening because of fundamental loss of direction in the sense. See, there was a potato farmer. You heard of him already? No. There was a